Hi there, I'm Patrick Howley, and right before this show, I was just caught in a rainstorm without an umbrella, as you might be able to tell. However, I'm still a whole lot luckier today than Kirsten Gillibrand. Kirsten Gillibrand, ladies and gentlemen, is today's loser of the day. Now, let's talk about why Kirsten Gillibrand is today's loser of the day. This is a big honor. And in fact, she is the first ever Big League Politics loser of the day. This is a new segment that we're starting here on the show. Now, she is the loser of the day because she wants to be president of the United States. She wants to run in 2020 as a Democrat. She's coming out with a book. She's branding herself as the woman candidate in the mold of Hillary Clinton. But she has irritated George Soros. Now, here's what happened. Kirsten Gillibrand was one of the leading crusaders to get Al Franken to resign his Senate seat in Minnesota after photos surfaced of Al Franken groping a woman. Al Franken claimed that he was just being funny, but it really wasn't funny because the woman was asleep and Al Franken was like honking on her breasts or whatever, and she obviously didn't care for it. Other women came forward, accused Al Franken of sexually harassing them, and in fact, Roger Stone broke the Al Franken scandal here on Big League Politics before it went to the New York Times and the mainstream media. Now, Kirsten Gillibrand and some other Democrats led the charge to get Franken to resign because they thought if they sacrificed Al Franken, then they could get President Donald Trump, because Trump has been accused of extramarital affairs, being with women, Playboy models. It's pretty clear that he has paid off some Playboy models. Nobody cares. And it's obvious that he has not done reprehensible acts on women the way that Al Franken did. But they thought that if they sacrificed Al Franken as a Democrat, then somehow they could use that to impeach Trump by showing, hey, look, this isn't a witch hunt. We're not partisans. We just asked our own guy, Al Franken, to resign. So, they thought that would give them some credibility in going after Trump. The thing has failed because they haven't found anything on Trump and they haven't gotten Trump in this way. So now George Soros is angry about it because George Soros really liked Al Franken. So George Soros, who bankrolls the Democratic Party with all of his money, is now angry at Kirsten Gillibrand. There was a piece in the Huffington Post by Amanda Turkle who said, and it said that George Soros is angry at Kirsten Gillibrand, who led a witchcraft against Al Franken in order to, quote, improve her chances of running for president in 2020. So George Soros thought that this was just a political ploy by Gillibrand, and now he's angry at her. So Gillibrand releases a statement in response. If standing up for women who have been wronged makes George Soros mad, that's on him. Kirsten, my friend, you cannot piss off George Soros if you want to run as a Democrat. Lady, okay? You got to learn this lesson. I know you're new to politics, relatively speaking. I know you're not very bright, okay? But if you want to run for president as a Democrat, I'll just tell you right now, George Soros is the one who picks that. George Soros is the Democrat candidate picker. And you just made him really mad and then shot at him in the press. What are you doing? This is very good for Republicans, by the way, because I thought that Kirsten Gillibrand was going to be relatively strong because the media loves her. Well, apparently not. Now, here is another reason why Kirsten Gillibrand is today's loser of the day. A new court ruling says that the inner workings of the NXIVM sex cult must be exposed at trial. This is a piece by our very own Haley Kennington. It's up on the site right now. Lawyers involved in the NXIVM case will now have access to all discovery materials obtained against Allison Mack, Keith Raniere, and other NXIVM leaders. So this is a stipulation and order signed by the U.S. Attorney, and it means that at the NXIVM sex cult trial, where the Smallville actress Allison Mack is standing trial for child trafficking alongside Keith Raniere, the cult leader, and Claire Bronfman, the Clinton donor, has also been charged with related crimes. This includes highly sensitive information, including but not limited to discussion of mental and physical conditions, medical information, photographs and videos of victims, letters and videos that alleged victims provided to NXIVM leaders as collateral, sexual history and sexual conversations, and other highly sensitive material. All of this stuff is now going to be made public at this trial. Very bad news for Kirsten Gillibrand. Why? Because Kirsten Gillibrand's father, Doug Rutnick, the lobbyist, was an employee of the NXIVM sex cults. A very high-ranking employee, in fact. Very, very close to Keith Raniere. And this was not that long ago. A little more than a decade ago, Kirsten Gillibrand's stepmother was an active member of the NXIVM sex cult, the cult that was branding women, the cult that was separating the children of Keith Raniere's sex slaves away from their parents, performing human psychological experiments on women and children. Keith Raniere, according to a former employee of the cult who spoke to us, Keith Raniere believes himself to be Lucifer. This is a satanic organization that Kirsten Gillibrand's family was in. Kirsten Gillibrand recently said that she only first heard about the NXIVM sex cults recently when these charges came out. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Her family was in the sex cults. And by the way, this sex cult has been the subject of front page stories in Albany, New York, Kirsten Gillibrand's hometown, for 10 years now. So she lied. She knows about this cult. She knows a whole lot about this cult. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a whole lot of smoke, and we already have fire. We have the fact that Kirsten Gillibrand's father and stepmother were in the sex cults. This is a cult that is accused of trafficking in children from Chihuahua, Mexico, presumably to be sex slaves. So this is why Kirsten Gillibrand is today's loser of the day. Now, she is somebody like Hillary Clinton, who's not very bright, who thought that she could just be the women's rights advocate. And, you know, do you remember a couple years ago when she accused a fellow senator of groping her and making a sexist comment? And then people said, well, who was it? And they had a scramble, and they eventually blamed the late Senator Daniel Inouye of Hawaii. And then Daniel Inouye's son said, let Kirsten Gillibrand say that to my face. That was probably a lie, too. Just like she's lying about how she doesn't know about the sex cult. Unbelievable. Well, very good day for Republicans. Very good day, honestly, for other Democrats looking to get into the 2020 primary, because Kirsten Gillibrand has pissed off George Soros. She is going to be implicated now in a major human trafficking trial that is going to be made public. And she is today's loser of the day. Loser of the day, Kirsten Gillibrand. Tune in tomorrow for another loser of the day. It might be Kirsten Gillibrand again, considering the streak she's on. Please keep reading BigLeaguePolitics.com.